Today I'm counting down the 5 best things I've ever freeze dried. Freeze drying is one of the coolest, pun intended, ways to preserve food. I've been freeze drying for over 2 years now, and I have had some major wins and some major flops. So whether you're a freeze drying newbie or a seasoned pro, today's video is going to hopefully give you some ideas of things that you can freeze dry that are going to blow your mind. After my top 5, I have another top 5 of freeze dryer accessories that I think everybody needs, must-have accessories that I use on the daily that I think will be helpful to you if you don't have these. Let's dive right in. Each spot in my top 5 is in a specific category. Starting with a bang at number 5 is my favorite freeze-dried MRE meal that I have ever made. It was a delicious chicken coconut curry. Here's how I made it. My food is dry, we can take it out now. Here they are. It is just completely light, breaks apart. Time to try this. It smells amazing. I'm using my spatula. Oh my gosh. This tastes so good. Like how when I made it. I need to try a piece with the pineapple. It's completely moist, and like I even got pineapple juice when I took a bite of the pineapple. I'm so impressed. I'm gonna say it. This is the best MRE I have ever made. The best. MREs are my favorite thing to make with my freeze dryer, and that one was the best. I have yet to make a better one. Maybe one day I will, but I haven't yet. Coming in at number 4 is in the category of, I don't know, meal prep ingredients. Things that I have made. It is my beef bone broth. In this video, I was trying to make a copycat recipe of an item that I saw at Costco, which was powdered beef broth sticks that you could just dump in 8 ounces of water and you've got delicious bone broth. I thought, I have a freeze dryer. I could powder down my own homemade beef broth and make my own. So here's how that turned out. My broth has been cooking, simmering here in my crock pot for almost 24 hours. We are gonna get it out and then move on to the next step in the process. I mean, I'm hoping I did this right, but I think we got ourselves some bone broth in here. It smells amazing. So what I need to do now is just strain my beef broth through a fine mesh strainer, and so we can get all the chunks out and just be left with the yummy broth, collagen-filled goodness. I then need to let the broth cool a bit before I pour it onto my freeze dryer trays. I am going to be pre-freezing this in my freezer overnight. So this is how much beef broth I get. Looking at my bowl, it looks like I've got 2.5 quarts. I'm gonna let these cool down a little bit more. I'm gonna put my tray lids on, stack them up, and get them into the freezer. This is why I love my Harvest Right tray lids. I can stack them easily, carry them in one trip down to my basement freezer. Here are my trays. Let's see how these are looking. I'm sorry, the humming of the freeze dryer is kind of loud. So I'm noticing these ones here in the middle still had a layer of fat on top. As I get these out, I'm gonna try to just poke that off a little bit. This one's funny, it like expanded through the fat line, but okay, let's get the cube. You can freeze dry inside of these silicone molds, but what I learned from my friends, you subscribers and viewers of mine, to not freeze dry like liquids and stuff inside of these. Pre-freeze them in the molds first, then pop them out of the molds and put them on your trays and freeze dry them that way. The reasoning behind this is that when you freeze dry them inside of the cubes, they just dry and become fairly crumbly, and so they don't pop out nice and evenly. They pop out and like leave a mess behind. So if you pop them out while they're frozen, they hopefully will stay in shape, and then you can stick them on your trays and freeze dry them that way. And then when you take them out of the freeze dryer, they will still be in their little cute cube shape. These came out pretty easily. I did struggle with this tray that had some of the fat on it. If you could see up here, I removed a lot of the pieces that had the chunky fat, and even one stayed like liquid, which is weird. I mean, there's still some fat on there that I'm just struggling to get off. So we're just gonna roll with it and see how it goes. We're gonna pull these out. Here are my cute little cubes of bone broth. This is where we had that mess of kind of a melty one when it went into the freeze dryer, but it's totally dry now. And if you see, like, if you crush it, it just powders right down. Let's say 30 grams of hot water, and that means I'm gonna add 1.5 grams of my powder. You guys, this looks so good. This looks exactly how it did when I made it. It was hard to weigh just 1.5 grams of this because it's so light, so it registered as 2 grams of powder for the 30 grams of water. I'm shocked. This is so good. This is perfect. I'm thoroughly impressed with how that turned out. That's gonna be a game changer for when I want to make soups and broths and stuff. I've got it right there in powder form. Case in point, here is my chili that I want to add about a cup of bone broth to. Like I showed in the video, I used that bone broth to add into chilies and soups, but the thing I used it most in was making top ramen for my kids. My kids love ramen, and there is zero nutrition in top ramen. So I was substituting the little flavoring packet with my beef bone broth, and it gave it a little punch of some gut healthy, you know, proteins and collagen and all of that. It stepped up the level of the ramen, and my kids never complained about it. They didn't notice the difference. So that was a huge win. I've already used up everything that I made and powdered, and so now I need to make more. I'm just hanging out with my friend Vanilla Ice while thinking about number 3, wishing I had some right now to be snacking on. My number 3 best item I've ever freeze-dried is in the snacking / vegetable category because it was an amazing snack, also a healthy vegetable. 2 birds, 1 stone. My idea for number 3 was those bags, if you've seen them at Costco, they're called like Snap Pea Crisps. They're kind of like veggie straws, but they're in the shape of a snap pea, but they have like a veggie straw texture. I used to feed those to my kids when they were toddlers. They would eat those up like crazy. So I wanted to step up my game and freeze dry an actual snap pea and see if it would be similar to that popular snack. And they turned out amazing. Here's how I did it. So I just boiled these for about 15 minutes in salted water, and that's all I did. I'm not adding any other seasonings to this. I wanted to try it just kind of plain Jane, and then maybe in the future, if I do like these, spice them up with some fun seasonings. I thought that might be good. I'm thinking this is gonna take up 2 trays. It is the next day. My freeze dryer is done. It has done its extra dry cycle and has about an hour left. The total runtime that this food has been in here is 28 hours and 42 minutes. When I open it, I'm just gonna check to make sure that it looks like it's all fully dry. Here you can see our awesome food. You can just hear these sound so crunchy. These feel light and amazing. And the avocado, I checked them, like they snap in half super easily, and they are just completely crunchy. Because a majority of these I am using just for snacking, I am going to store them in mason jars. If I wanted to store these for long-term food storage for emergency purposes, I would put them in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers and heat seal it closed. Because these are gonna be snacking, I am just gonna put them in some mason jars. But before I package them up, let's do some taste testing. Let's go for a snap pea. Ooh, this is good. I don't know if you have ever purchased those snap pea veggie straw type of chips. I know they sell them at Costco. They're like in the shape of snap peas, but they're not just snap peas. This gives you that same texture without any added chemicals or fakeness. This is just a snap pea, but it's crunchy and delicious. Huge fan. You can see little peas inside. At the top, our celebration snack is our freeze-dried sugar snap peas. Everyone's got some, right? Cheers, cheers. Ooh, these are good.
Yeah.
They're like a real version of those snap peas that they sell at Costco, but they're not really snap peas. These are legit good. No more? What'd you think of it, Jenna? Show
Really
Jenna.
good. Really good.
All right, I'm telling you, freeze-dried snacks for hiking. It's a win. Watching that footage of my sister and I on our awesome hike that we did this past summer is really making me miss summer. We're just in the dead of winter right now and darkness and all of that fun stuff. We have not had near as much snow as we have had the past 2 winters here in Alaska, but you know, I'm sure it's coming. It's still been cold and dark, you know, Alaska things. We're down to number 2, which is in the breakfast item category. This is the best breakfast that I have freeze-dried. It reconstitutes perfectly. It can be served warm. It can be served cold. It packs a punch of protein, fiber, whole grains. Chef's kiss. Here's what I made. So I've now got 4 trays of different flavored oatmeals to freeze dry. I am gonna pre-freeze these because these are some pretty thick, hearty trays. So it'll be easier and quicker on the freeze dryer if I pre-freeze them. You don't have to pre-freeze, but I'm gonna do that. So I will have to check in with y'all in the morning when I get these into the freeze dryer. I'll show you the settings that we're gonna use. Which flavor would you wanna make? I am super looking forward to trying the pina colada and the berries and cream. Those are the 2 that I am most excited about. Here are my trays. They are very cold. I'm gonna get these onto my table. This is the apples, apple cinnamon. And then this looks like, I see the nuts. Okay, so this must be my banana nut. This one is definitely my pina colada, the pineapple and coconut. And then this one's very obvious, the berries and cream. These all look so good. So my trays are in and good to go. These will still probably take a while even though I pre-froze them because they are some hearty, full trays. So I'll keep you up to date on how long these take, and then we will definitely be doing a taste test at the end. Here are my trays. If you remember, we got berries and cream, pina colada, banana nut, apple cinnamon. I kind of tried to put a little dividing line so that I could just easily know like where the halfway point is. These 2 turned out fine. This one, not so much, but you can see it just comes out like this. You can eat this without rehydrating it. I'm gonna give it a try. That's good. My only thing is that it is very dry, so you want to drink lots of water. If you are going to eat this without rehydrating it, it's very dry in your mouth. So I think I'll definitely prefer it rehydrated, but you can eat it like that. So that's kind of cool. Okay, I want to try a little bite of the pina colada one. That's good. Okay, let's take these upstairs. Sorry, my mouth is full of food. And rehydrate them. I'm excited. Okay, I've got my jar here. I am going to just break up the oatmeal and stick it in here. I'm a weird person who likes my oatmeal cold. I love overnight oats. So I am going to be adding cold water to rehydrate my oatmeal. But if you like hot oatmeal, all you gotta do is just throw in hot water and you will have hot oatmeal. So I love how versatile this is. I think I'm gonna try to just shove it all in here. It will shrink up as water gets into it, I think. We will see. Okay, here we go. Here is the water. And you guys know that I don't measure things. I measure with my heart and with love. So I'm just gonna mix this up, mash it around. And if it feels like it needs more water, I'll add more, but this is actually looking okay. I'm gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna do the same thing with my pineapple one, and then I will meet you back when it's time to taste test. It's kind of nice out this morning, so I thought I would come do our taste test here on the patio. Okay, I'm first gonna try the pineapple coconut pina colada. This smells so good. It looks like a normal oatmeal. This is awesome. I just wanted to show you the pineapple that's in here. Tastes like fresh pineapple. I thought maybe it was gonna end up just more crunchy, but it tastes like a fresh, delicious pineapple. This one was so good. When we did our big RV trip from Arizona to Alaska this summer, I brought with me many of those protein oatmeal freeze-dried meals, and they worked out so good. They weigh nothing, so it was easy to put in luggage when we were traveling back and forth. And then when we wanted breakfast, I would just boil water on our stove in our camper and pour it over the oatmeal. And it was hot, fresh oatmeal that I did not have to cook, that was tasted so good. We've made it to number one. When people ask me what my favorite thing that I've freeze-dried is, I will usually tell them this food. That's our number one. I had to go way back in the freeze-drying videos to find this one. This was one of my OG first videos that I made. It is terrible. It's like really hard to watch yourself when you're first brand new at doing something. I still do not think I am good at YouTube videos, but I am better than I was 2 years ago. So it was just funny to watch back. But YouTube is something that you learn as you go. And so I'm figuring it out and trying to get better, but you know, forgive my poor YouTubing skills from back then. But here is my favorite fruit. This is a fruit category that I've ever freeze-dried. Let's go. Today, it is currently snowing outside, so I am just going to take this pineapple and pretend like I am on the beach in Hawaii enjoying some delicious tropical fruit. I think this is gonna be so good freeze-dried. I can't wait to try it. I'm hoping my kids will like it. I'm excited. I've got my pineapple all chopped up. Let's give a little taste test. Yum. Super good, super sweet, super juicy. We are going to get these on our trays and then they are ready for the freeze dryer. All right, as you can see, my pineapple filled up 2 trays. Should have bought more pineapples. It's about 1 pineapple per tray, it looks like. I'm going to figure out something to add to those trays. I'm gonna get these loaded up. 1, 2. The total time I have on here is 28 hours. Again, it went a little longer during the extra dry cycle, so we'll see how it is. I haven't tested to see if these are fully done or not. I'm gonna open my drain valve. Remove product from the door. Okay, here are our pineapple. All right, they feel like they are definitely done. and like the moisture has all been removed. Yeah, I should have used my mats, but they of course weren't clean, so I just did it on the trays, but they're popping off just fine. What time is it, kids?
Taste test time!
What are we taste testing today?
Pineapple!
All right, grab a pineapple.
Can I have two?
Sure. Oh, okay. Whatever.
So good. I mean two.
Okay.
Three.
All right, back up, back up. 1, 2, 3, go. I hear the crunch.
It tastes like a normal one.
It tastes like a pineapple.
A normal one.
Pretty yummy.
Yeah.
Good snack.
Try again, Mommy.
Okay. I'm glad you like it. Mommy's gonna try it next. Okay, I am going to try it. Super good. Love it. It's light and airy and kind of gets like that pineapple juice once you start chewing it. Super good. Oh, and my baby boys look so little. It was just 2 years ago, but it seems so long ago. The pineapple, if you have not freeze-dried pineapple, you have to do it. It is so good. You can do fresh pineapple like I did there. You can do canned pineapple. You can freeze-dry that. It turns out great. But it literally tastes like candy, and it's a pineapple with nothing added to it. Amazing. There's my top 5. Did anything on my list surprise you? Or do you have something that you would add to my list? Tell me your 5 favorite things that you've ever freeze-dried, and if some of them were the same as mine. I mean, we all, I'm sure, have done so many different things, but let me know your top 5 in the comments below, and then we can all get so many ideas from each other. That sounds fun. Now coming at you are my quick fire 5 favorite must-have freeze dryer accessories. First, having 2 sets of trays. This is 1 set of tray here. I have my other set over there waiting to be washed. That's why I love having 2 sets. If one tray is dirty, I can still be freeze drying with my clean trays, or if I am doing a long run in my freeze dryer, my other trays I can be pre-freezing in a freezer with something else. It is really nice to have 2 sets of trays. So when you're thinking about getting a freeze dryer, consider getting 2. They're expensive, but I feel like a worthwhile investment to have the extra set of trays. That was number 5. Number 4 must-have accessory I would say are tray liners. These ones just come from Amazon. They are reusable, washable, work great. It helps prevent your food from sticking from the trays. I also like it because you can lift this off of your tray with your food on it and like pour it into a vessel. If you are a freeze-dried candy maker, I cannot recommend the pre-cut parchment paper that are made for your freeze dryer trays enough. These are heaven sent. They come already the perfect size for your trays. You just stick it on and you can put your candy does much better on parchment paper than it does on like the silicone tray liners. So I always use these when I am making candy, and you can find these on Amazon easily. I'll have everything linked in the video description below also. Number 3 is an item that is fairly new to me. I purchased this about 2 or 3 months ago. It is an electric mason jar vacuum sealer. I store a lot of my freeze-dried foods in mason jars, and when you do that, you want to vacuum seal the lids on so that your food stays nice and dry and fresh. This does it without having to have a big machine attached to it. I used to use my food saver with the vacuum hose attachment with it, and it's just bulky and takes up a lot of space in my kitchen. This I can use right here in my freeze dryer room. I don't have to go up to my kitchen to use it. It's wonderful. You can do wide mouth and regular mouth on here. It's great. 4th item I can't live without is a digital food scale. I use this for weighing my trays to know whether or not they are fully freeze-dried. At the end of a freeze dryer run, you can weigh a tray, put it back in for another hour or 2, pull it back out, weigh it again. If there is a difference in your weights, your food is not fully freeze-dried. Moisture is still being removed from the food and needs to continue to go longer. If your weights stay the exact same, then that tells you that the moisture has been removed from your food and you can take it out and package it up. So this thing is a lifesaver when it comes to that and to really know if your food is done. And it's cheap on Amazon. And number 1 item right here, my tray lids. These are the ones that are from Harvest Right. Oh wait, I have another item. We're gonna do six items. Okay, tray lids from Harvest Right. I love these. I use them with almost every freeze dryer run because I'm usually preparing things up in my kitchen and then I put my tray lids on, stack up my trays and carry them down. It allows you to be able to stack your trays into either your freezer if you're gonna pre-freeze them or just carry them around. They work wonderfully. And you can use these as a tray themselves in the freeze dryer. Did you know that? Set it on the box, and I've done it, and it worked. So, multi-use tool right here. I almost forgot about the food funnel. Now, I always knew this tool existed, but I never knew how it worked, if people liked it. But I have a friend who also has an amazing YouTube channel that I love called This Alaska Life. If you want to see more about life in Alaska, check her channel out. She is awesome. But she also has a freeze dryer, and she told me that she had the food funnel and absolutely loved it. I trust her opinion. So I was able to get one and I love it. It works so well. It allows you to pour your food directly into a bag or a jar without having to like make a giant mess. I was always making messes all over my prep table here, and this has saved me. The food funnel comes from freezedryingsupplies.com, and I will have it linked also in the video description of this video. Okay, so that was 6 freeze drying accessories that I think you need, not 5. But there's probably more. I use more than just that, but those are my top favorites. If I missed something that's on your favorite list, drop it in the comments below. I normally would be taking you outside to do an Alaskan snow check, but I am filming this video at night and it is pitch black outside. So that will have to wait till our next video. If you don't have a freeze dryer yet and you are interested in purchasing one, I have an affiliate link down in my video description below with Harvest Right. Mine is a size medium. I absolutely love it. They are still running their Black Friday sale, end of the year sale through the end of December. The freeze dryers are up to $900 off. I think the same one that I have, well, it's an updated version than this one, is like $700 off, which is amazing. And the Harvest Right branded accessories that I showed are also through that same freeze dryer link that's in the description box. If you click that button and then click the shop button, you can scroll down to accessories, and that's where you'll find all those goodies and see everything that they have. I love how my Christmas card wall is getting filled up with cards from all of you. If you still want to send me a Christmas card, please do so. My P.O. box information is listed in the description. I will send you a card back in return. I've been loving reading your stories, hearing about your family, hearing about your freeze drying adventures. You are all the best. Thank you so much for sending me cards. It really has made this Christmas season so fun for me. So thank you. On that note, I normally have a Wednesday video that comes out midweek. It's Christmas this Wednesday, and so I'm going to take the week off and I will get back to videos on Saturday. So next video for me will be in 1 week from today, after Christmas. So I want to just wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful time and that you get to spend it with your loved ones and that it's just magical. We took our kids to see Santa at Cabela's. It's been our family tradition to visit Santa at Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's. I mean, they're the same company now. We decided to go to Cabela's this year and not Bass Pro because that's just the area of town we were in, but we loved it. Here's a picture of my little cuties with Santa. And I will see you on the next video. Remember, when you freeze dry today, you secure your tomorrow. Bye, friends. Merry Christmas.